Okay. Duduk dekat
Yang okay, saya stop kat sini. Kita start lecturing. Lecture yang kita sambung last week. Okay, apa yang saya janji dengan kamu untuk discuss group dengan individual assignment, kita discuss hari Khamis ni boleh So sekarang kita bagi habis lecture dulu. Okay, kita belajar tu sample test hypothesis last lecturing. Siti Rabiatul untuk manual
Ya, Doktor, manual.
Minta
Saya ada problem.
minta metric number
279299.
Okay,
Okay, Doktor, thank you.
welcome.
Doktor, saya pun manual.
Saya tu siapa?
Nur Fakira, 275546.
27
5546.
25.
Terima kasih,
Oh,
Doktor.
okay, sama, thank you. Okay, kita belajar two hypothesis of a sample. This one saya pergi cepat sikit sebab kita dah belajar. So kita what we learn in this topic is about the two independent group. The two independent group. Okay, two independent group. Group A or Group B. That means we do the hypothesis of two population. Then two independent population that we unknown the standard deviation. Then about the two independent population, unknown standard deviation, unequal population. So about dependent and independent sample. Then about hypothesis of pair and dependent observations. Okay, that means this topic we learn that we have two groups compared to one hypothesis, only one group. Okay, now we have the example here. The example I given. Usually, they have a lot of example. This example they want to explain the what condition we use two hypotheses. I mean, we want to know is there different the mean value or resident real estate sold by male agent or female agent. Okay, kita nak tahu these two group, which one the best or which one yang lebih significant. Then also in term we want to know there is different mean number of defect produced on the day or afternoon shift. Okay, ada setengah they call night shift, day shift or night shift. Yang mana lebih group mana yang lebih banyak menyumbang kepada defect. Defect bermaksudnya non-conforming product lah, maksudnya benda yang kita tak boleh pakai. So cuba kita tanya Amirul Hazim.
Ya, saya.
Okay, Amirul Hazim, kalau kita ditanya untuk share pendapat, kalau ada satu produk manufacturing, waktu siang dengan waktu malam, which one yang banyak sekali defect?
Defect.
Defect bermaksudnya tak bagus you buat produk yang tak bagus. Waktu siang ataupun waktu malam?
Waktu malam.
Mengapa?
Sebab kadang mungkin pekerja tu dah penat, mungkin dia dah overworking ke apa, tapi dia terpaksa still buat shift dia kan. So mungkin ada catatan time operation buat production tu lah.
Okay, thank you. Really good explanation. So kita juga melihat sample of example. Third one, we want to know the young workers or older workers. So kita tanya pula pendapat Nur Hafizah. Okay, Nur Hafizah, kalau you pergi dekat Medi, selalu pergi dekat Medi
Ha?
ataupun you pergi KFC, which one yang selalu you pergi?
McDonald's.
Oh, Medi Okay, dia ada two category group, young workers dengan oldest workers. Yang mana you prefer?
Young workers.
Oh, okay, why? Mesti ada reason dia. Ada alasan dia? Mengapa you suka young workers? Boleh type dekat chat tu kalau you nak tulis lah. Bukan kawan lain kalau nak join pun boleh juga. Why you prefer young workers?
Layanan lebih okey.
Oh, layanan bagi okey How about the older workers? Layanan dia tak okey ke? Okay, now, okay, tak apa. Just asking the question, how this condition, kita study two group. Okay. Tetapi banyak ni komen Nur Fakira kata servis tak laju. Siti Nurul Fasihah kata sebab older tak darat. Tetapi saya punya pendapat, saya punya view, saya lebih prefer older workers. Sebab apa? Saya akan type saya punya jawapan dekat chat. Older workers itu saya punya jawapan dekat chat. Setuju tak?
Setuju sir.
Okay, sebenarnya dia pendapat individu So it's just common sense. Then another one, we want to identify the USM graduates and UKM graduate. Which one? Who the passes the CPA certified public accountants on the first attempt. Okay. This one I go faster sebab kita dah belajar sebelum ni. So now those for two sample test hypothesis, kita akan guna dua formula. This formula number 1 and formula number 2. Okay. So they have the two condition, formula number 1 and formula number 2. Those sample, that mean we don't know the sigma, so we use number 1. We know the sigma, we use number 1. We don't know the sigma, we use number 2. It depends on question given, whether they give to you sigma or not given. So the next we learn example. That mean here example really it happen in the Tesco. Kalau you pergi rajin shopping, follow your punya parents. So we have two type of scanning. Whether we use the standard and you scan. You scan, that mean we do by ourselves. Dia ada satu kaunter yang kecil. Dia ada dekat tu ada scanner. Dan juga untuk you letak barang, you pack by yourself. Then after that, you pay at that terminal by using the card. That mean cashless. So then given the sample mean of each process, standard 5.5 minutes, you scan 5.3. Then population standard division is given 0.4 for S, 0.3 for you scan, then sample size 50 and 100 respectively. Okay, from this issue, data given, that data we have, we develop the hypothesis of two samples to determine whether the customer type of the standard scan, that means standard scan, you line up the line until you punya tempat turn is come, then that PRC will scan to you manually. Then after that, they say how many ringgit need to pay and so on. Okay, the process is finished. But you scan, you do everything until it finish. So based on this one, we develop the hypothesis. Hypothesis we say A0, U scan is lowest than U. H1, we say standard more than U. Okay, U standard. So we use a level of significance 0.01. Then we use a Z distribution. Okay, Z distribution. We need to calculate what the Z value. Okay. Now we need to identify what is our critical value. That means CV. Critical value they come from alpha. Alpha given in quotient is 0.01. Okay. Alpha given in quotient is 0.01. So boleh kita tanya seorang Ong Zuhui?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, how we find out the value 2.33?
Look at the table.
What table is?
Yeah.
Siapa boleh tolong dekat ni, boleh type dekat chat?
Normal distribution table.
Okay. Normal distribution table. Then how to find out 2.33? Kalau kita dah ada table in our front, so how you find out? Boleh bagi idea sikit? How to find out?
We take 0.5 minus 0.01, we'll take 0.49. Then
Wait. First step,
first step
0.5
minus 0.01.
minus 0.01. Then we get the value, is it? Okay, what value?
0.49.
4900. So after that,
Look at the table, then we will get 2.33.
okay, look at table, what value we look at?
0.4901.
Okay, we look at the table of this value. So we look the upper is berapa kita dapat? 0.03. And the right one is we get is
2.3.
2.3. Okay, that's why we get 2.33. Okay. Thank you, Ong. Siapa belum tahu lagi how we get 2.33? Kalau malu nak bersuara boleh tulis kat chat tu. Sebab kat chat tu semua boleh tengok. Okay, understood? Faham? Okay, now we move. Okay, thank you. We move to the next. Using the formula, given formula, they say that Z X of the group 1 standard minus the X bar of the group 2 divided by square root sigma of F power by 2 divided by NS plus sigma of the U scan power by 2 divided by NU. So this one is given in the question soalan. Just kita masukkan this value dalam formula. this formula, then we get the 3.13. Okay, 3.13 kita tengok balik kita punya raja. Step number 4, 3.13 somewhere this area. Duduk dekat sini ya. So kita boleh tanya Nur Ain Syafiqah.
Yes, sir.
So what is decision? 3.13 duduk kat sini kan, kat warna merah tu.
Yeah. Decision dia we reject HO
Kalau kita reject
and
H0,
we
accept.
accept HY.
Okay, apa yang H1 bagi tahu?
H1 bagi tahu mu S lebih besar daripada mu U.
So bermaksudnya standard punya proses. Okay, proses yang kita beli barang melalui standard, masa dia lebih panjang daripada U-scan. Ini keputusan dia. So kita bagi tahu dekat kita punya manager ataupun kita punya shareholder ataupun CEO, bagi tahu U-scan ni yang individual scan tu lebih faster. Mungkin customer lebih prefer. Okay. Okay, thank you Nur Ain Syafiqah.
Okay, sir, sama-sama.
Okay, next kita move to another example. Another example sama dengan example yang tadi. What condition we use to sample test, tetapi ini about the proportion. Proportions. So that means boleh kita minta Nur Mahirah
Ya, doktor.
binti Edi Hisham.
Ya.
Okay, minta tolong baca semua di slide nombor 9.
Two sample tests about proportions. Examples, the Vice President of Human Resources wishes to know whether there is a difference in the proportion of hourly employees who miss more than 5 days of work per year at the Bayan Lepas and the Johor Bahru plants. Product is considering a new design for the Asia 2. The design is shown to a group of potential buyers under 30 years of age and another group over 60 years of age. Rodo wishes to know whether there is a difference in the proportion of the two groups who like the new design. A consultant to the mass airline industry is investigating the fear of flying among adults. Specifically, the company wishes to know whether there is a difference in the proportion of men versus women who are fearful of flying.
Okay, thank you Nur Mahirah. You ada masalah nombor 4 tak? Nombor 3 lah Mahirah. You ada masalah nombor 3 ni tak? You
Apa?
biasa naik flight? You biasa naik flight?
Pernah?
Ada perasaan takut?
Dok.
Oh, dah. Maksudnya you tak ada masalah untuk nombor 3 ni lah. Okay. Yang kedua saya tanya, you punya family ada kereta Asia?
Tak ada.
Ada beradik?
8.
Pun tak ada?
Tak ada.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now we have two conditions. That mean first number one example, we have the Bayan Lepas and Johor Bahru plant. We want to know whether it's different in terms of working 5 days. Another one is about the Asia too. Maybe this one the new model. They want to know whether the group of under 30 years old and over 60 years old age, which one prefer the new design. Then mass airline industry, they want to do men and women about the fearful of flying. Ada setengah orang takut. Saya so far is okay. Masa depan saya tak tahu macam mana. Okay. Tapi kalau terlampau panjang dia akan boring. You selalunya you akan sleeping. Okay. Liang kata dia lambat. Don't worry Liang, selagi kita present QR code, you akan scan. Boleh Liang. Don't worry, be happy. Okay, now we move to next slide. Okay, now we want to know how to sample test on proportion. So we have full proportion. They call PC, full proportion. Using this formula, PC, full proportion equal to group number 1 plus number of group number 2 and divide of n number 1. That means sample of group number 1 and sample group of number 2. This one step number 1. Step number 2, we need to identify two sample tests of proportion by Z. Then we using this formula, P1 minus P2 divided by square root PC. PC is just now given the formula. 1 minus PC or divided by N1 plus PC1 minus PC divided by N2. Okay. This one, the formula of Z. Then we see the example. Kita tengok contoh, kita boleh minta Nur Alia Nabila ada? Nur Alia Nabila? Lim Yi Ying?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, Lim, boleh tolong baca Lim?
Family. Two sample tests of proportion. Example. Similarly, perfume company recently developed a new fragrance that it plans to market under the name Heavenly. A number of market studies indicate that Heavenly has very good market potential. The sales department at Heavenly is particularly interested in whether there is a difference in the proportion of younger, I think per 100 and older 52 per 200, women who would purchase Heavenly if it were marketed. Samples are collected from each of these independent groups. Each sample woman was asked to smell Heavenly and indicate whether she likes the fragrance well enough to purchase a bottle at 0.05 significance level.
Okay, thank you Lim. Lim, you suka pakai minyak wangi ke?
No, tak.
Tak suka?
Ah,
Oh, you sudah ada boyfriend ke Lim?
dah.
Sudah ada?
Dah.
Belum?
Ya, belum.
Oh, belum Sebab tu you kena pakai minyak wangi banyak-banyak So you boleh interact you punya boyfriend. Okay, jom saja Okay, now they take example how the one company, mungkin masa depan you working that company. So this company they perfume the product the perfume So they perfume, they want to market it. Okay, bila kita nak market it, kita kena identify the product we produce ni adalahkah boleh accept by customer or not. Okay, certain this product that kita buat ni, kita nak separate one group of younger, another one is oldest. Okay, kita nak melihat adakah bau dia, certain bau we call bau A, bau C, then someone which group is prefer, whether youngest or oldest. Okay. Kalau saya tanya pendapat saya rasa oldest is better. Pasal apa oldest is better? Sebab oldest ada duit kan. So they can purchase the perfume. Youngest ni selalunya dia tak ada duit. So dia akan borrow father and mother money. Okay, itu pun joke juga. So how they want to market the product to the group? So they conduct at 0.05 significant level. using the two sample test hypothesis. Okay, we see how they do the test. First, step number one, they mean they develop the hypothesis. Step number one. So they say H0, pi1 equal to pi2, H1, pi1 not equal to pi2. Kalau you tengok macam ni, you jangan terkejut. Patutnya kita boleh develop juga, kita boleh kata younger, okay, younger, saya boleh guna short form nak tulis payah-payah ni. So saya tulis kat sini, kita boleh kata younger is equal to older. Ini hypothesis number H0. H1, we say younger is not equal to older. Okay. Kita guna simbol ni pun okey. Ataupun kita guna perkataan pun okey. Tak semestinya kita guna pure matematik punya simbol. Pi1 or pi2 or so on. So bila you tengok simbol-simbol ni, you jangan terkejut juga. Patutnya dia adalah simple saja. We say the younger is equal to older. Bermaksudnya perfume yang kita buat ni, younger dengan older tu no different. Semua this group dia suka. Dia tak kisah pun. Maksudnya you produce untuk dia, this okay untuk dia. Okay, another one, H1 we say is different. So that mean this one example is not sesuai pada untuk younger, dan younger juga tak sesuai untuk older. So the next step, next step we use 0.05 significant label given in the question. Then another one we use the Z distribution. So step number 4, we need to formulate the decision. That means we say we reject S0 if Z more or lower than Z alpha divided by 2. So now Z alpha divided by 2 we get 1.96. Jadi kita dapat 1.96. Cuba kita tanya Chang Zuwan. Hello Chang.
Saya ke doktor?
Okay Chang, how we get 1.96? Macam mana kita dapat 1.96?
Oh, kita guna itu apa? G statistik.
Apa first step apa yang kena buat dulu? First step.
First step 0.5 tolak 0.
Wait. Now alpha is 0.
0.05.
Then
kita ambil 0.5 tolak 0.05.
okay, 0.5 tolak dengan 0.05. So what you get here?
Kita dapat 0.495.
Okay, 0.4950. Okay, Chang, cuba you tengok dekat jadual, dapat dekat 1.96.
Jadual.
Dapat tak untuk untuk
Sekejap.
Okay. Dapat tak? Siapa-siapa dapat tak this value? Siapa kawan-kawan kita lain cuba tengok kalau ada table, normal distribution table untuk membantu Chang get the value. Chang dapat berapa Chang? Kalau 0.4694 50.
0.49 0.1879. Saya salah ke?
So kita dah dapat 0. Yang ni 0.187 dalam table kan?
Ya.
Mengapa kita tak dapat 1.96?
Salah guna table.
Salah guna table. Ada kawan-kawan boleh bagi idea how we get the different value untuk bantu Chang? Kita cuba tanya Siti Rabia tu.
Yes, doktor. Saya tak dapat.
Tak dapat kat mana?
Bukan ke doktor yang saya fahamkan alpha divide by 2?
Betul. Itu dekat situ Chang tak silap Chang.
Ya. Ya, Chang tolak.
Oh,
Hello
sorry,
Chang,
sorry.
boleh ya? Should be alpha divided by 2.
Sorry. Lupa
So
dah.
alpha divided by 2, this time we get 0.025. Cuba kita buat lagi sekali yang correct way. Ya. Kita minta Chang juga buat.
Okay.
Chang ada calculator kan?
Boleh. Ada.
Okay, sah. Wait. Kita padam ni yang gambar-gambar pelik-pelik ni. Okay. Alpha divided by 2, they mean 0.05 divided by 2. What you get? Chang, what you get?
0.05 bagi 2.
Yes.
0.025.
0.0025 kan? Now 0.5. Okay, 0.5 minus dengan 0.0025. What will you get?
0.4975.
Okay, you get 0.4975. Okay, now you look dekat normal distribution table. This figure. Atas you dapat berapa?
Atas
Upper one.
0.4.
You tengok.
0.4.
Betiuk. You tengok ke atas. Atas table.
Atas table.
Dekat you ada table kan? Dekat atas sekali. Apa number dia? Should be 0.06. Betul tak?
0.06.
Kan? Okay, belah kiri berapa? Kiri.
Kiri
You tengok this number. 0.4975. Belah kiri itu berapa number dia? Ada siapa-siapa boleh tolong? You tengok 0.4975. Betul ke 4905? Tak, wait. Oh ya, yeah. Betul. Not 95. This but terbalik. Okay, thank you Ong Zui. This one should be 0.475. 0. Bukan 4975 Wait, cuba lagi sekali. Okay, so we get 4750. This one is wrong. So atas you dapat berapa, Chang? 4750. Then belah kiri, tabel kiri.
1.9.
Then the Y, here we get 1.96. Kat sini.
Oh,
1.96.
okay.
Boleh, ha?
Okay, boleh.
Tadi you given the answer, this one silap.
Okay.
Should be 0.4750. Then baru kita dapat 1.96.
4750.
Okay. Then the next, we need to calculate the Z value. So first we calculate the P1. P1, that means 19 divided by 100, we get 0.19. Right? P2 we get 0.31. So PC we get 0.27. That means group number 1 plus group number 2 divided by total of group number 1 and total group of number 2. So we get 0.27. This value we fill up in the Z formula. So at the end we get minus 2.21. Okay, 2.21. So 2.21, that means somewhere this area. Jadi dekat warna hijau yang saya tanda, this area. Okay, this area kita cuba tanya T King T. Hello T.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, what is decision?
We need to reject the HO.
S0 is rejected. So we reject S0, we accept
H1.
Okay, what S1 say? Younger
Woman.
is not same to
Not same to old.
older. This one H1 say, hypothesis 1 say. Okay, that means younger not equal to older. So kita dapati the new product. Okay, thank you Ying. Thank you T. Sorry. So kita dapati kita punya produk untuk perfume adalah group older tak sama dengan youngers. That mean kita punya produk ni memang spesifik untuk each group. Dia tak boleh combine two group. This one kita punya decision. Okay. So far ada soalan? Okay. Sebab kita dah tahu lah how to find out. So now kita nak proceed the same example, but we using the pool t-test. Okay, pool t-test. What condition will pool t-test? They mean unknown population of standard deviation. So we don't know what is the population standard deviation. Then we use the t-test. Yang tadi, example tadi z-test, because we know the population standard deviation. Okay, cuba saya minta tolong Siti Nur Asia.
Ya, Doktor.
Okay, cuba baca slide ni Siti Nur Asia.
Comparing population means with equals but unknown population standard deviation, the full t-test. The t-distribution is used as the test statistic if one or more of the samples have less than 30 observations. The required assumptions are both population must follow the normal distribution, the population must have equal standard deviation, the samples are from independent populations.
Okay, thank you Siti Nur Asia. So untuk full t-test, they have some requirement, they say less than 30 observation. So both population, that means group number 1 and group number 2 must be normal distribution. Then population should be equal standard deviation. The sample from independent population. Then kita melihat the next step about the formula. Ini dua formula yeah. Then divide by one of group 1, then 1 divide by group number 2. So formula dia agak panjang. Cuma nasib baik kalau tak ada exam jadi kamu tak payah bimbang untuk hafal formula. Kalau ada exam, bergantung pada seperti contoh-contoh semester yang lepas-lepas. So kalau ada dalam final exam, you kena remember lah formula ni. Okay. Then kita melihat example. This example. Then kita cuba minta Lau Wenyi.
Yes, Doctor.
Lau boleh baca Lau?
Boleh. Comparing population means with unknown population standard deviation, the full t-test. Owner Lawn Care Inc. manufactures and assembles lawn mowers that are shipped to dealers throughout the United States and Canada. Two different procedures have been proposed for mounting the engine on the frame of the lawn mower. The question is there a difference in the mean time to mount the engines on the frames of lawn mowers? The first procedure was developed by longtime Auburn employee Herb Willers, designated as Procedure 1, and the other procedure was developed by Auburn Vice President of Engineering William Atkins, designated as Procedure 2. To evaluate the two methods, it was decided to conduct a time and motion study. A sample of 5 employees was timed using the Willers method and 6 using the Atkins method. The results in minutes are shown on the right. Is there a difference in the mean mounting times? Use the 0.10 significant level.
Okay, thank you, Lau. Now, at 0.10 significant level, we have two different type of method. Wells method dengan Atkins method. So, the Wells, they will measure this time by minute. 24932, Atkins 375843. Okay, so this one is not given standard deviation. So even though not given standard deviation, kita kena calculate dulu the first step, what the X bar, okay, X bar and standard deviation of this group. Begitu juga dengan X bar and standard deviation of group add kin Okay, now kita minta Nur Mariam. Siapa-siapa pun all student kalau ada calculator, scientific calculator, gunakan calculator untuk find out the group number 1 X bar and sigma, then group number 2 X bar and sigma. Then cuba kita share jawapan dekat chat. Boleh kita mula sekarang? Tetapi leader dia adalah Nur Mariam. Nur Mariam ada?
Ada Prof.
Okay, cuba guna calculator untuk find out these two group. Group 1. Ini.
Saya boleh bagi jawapan ke sir?
Ya, kongsi jawapan dekat chat.
Saya dah kat chat lah.
Kat chat, buat kat chat. Sebab kat chat tu semua boleh dengar, tengok. Itu saya dapat jawapan saya guna calculator saya Casio. Sama tak? Ataupun ada calculation error? Siapa yang dapat jawapan boleh share. Okey, Nur Ain Syafiqah, dia dapat jawapan tu, dia share group number 1 mean 4 standard deviation 2.4915. Okey, ada siapa lagi yang dapat result? Boleh share dekat chat Dapat result yang lain pun tak sama pun boleh share juga. Dan kita melihat dekat mana. Nur Mariam dah dapat result? Okay, Asia Aziz dah dapat group number 2. Nurul Huda pun dah dapat group number 2. Rebeatul pun dah dapat group number 2. Chong Hon Lian dapat? Chong Hon Lian? Muhammad Arif dah dapat group 1 and group number 2. Saya buat latihan ni bukan siapa, masing-masing siapa ada peluang untuk chat, boleh tulis kat chat. Kalau tidak, tak diberi peluang, tak tulis. So semuanya kita ada peluang. Siapa yang tak pernah type dekat chat tu boleh type. Ahmad Taufik dapat? Ahmad Taufik?
Dapat saya.
Share you punya result dekat chat.
Okey, baik saya.
Okay, Nur Hazira will get group number 1, number 2. Yuni Zaratika, group 1. Quizimin already get group 1 and group number 2. Okay, Mariam also get result of group number 1 and group number 2. Okay. Now, we already get the value group number 1 and group number 2 of X bar and standard deviation each. So we see the next step. What they do, they develop the hypothesis. That means step number 1. Okay, step number 1, we say the S0 mu1 equal to mu2. H1 mu1 not equal to mu2. You tengok ni simbol matematik. Usually in our question that means the wheels is equal to Atkin for H0. Then number 2 is wheels is not equal to Atkin method of the H1. This one the hypothesis we develop. So kalau you tengok ni jangan you takut sangat. It's normal. You boleh guna yang ni ataupun boleh pakai this one. Then step number 2, level of significance 0.01 is given. Step number 3, we need to find out what is X bar and what is the sigma standard deviation. That's why we use the full t-test. Just now kita kira value masing-masing kan, because not given the standard deviation. Okay. Then we see the step number 4. Step number 4, we say that we reject S0 if the T more or lowest than T alpha divided by 2, n minus 1 plus n minus 2 minus 2. So now alpha given the equation is berapa? 0.10. Okay, alpha is equal to 0.10. Okay. Then alpha divided by 2, n1 plus n2 minus 2. So why minus 2? Mengapa kita minus 2? Boleh saya tanya Yuni Zaratika?
Ya, Doktor.
Mengapa N1 plus N2 minus 2? Why?
Sebab ni kot, sebab dekat formula kan S ada dua dekat atas, dua bawah. So, tolak satu tambah satu. Faham tak, Doktor?
Memang tak faham pun. Because we have two group, kita ada dua group. That mean group wheels dengan group Atkins. Kita ada dua group. Jadi N1 minus plus N2 minus 2. That mean degree of freedom. Degree of freedom adalah N minus 1. Okay. Jadi kita ada dua group, jadi 2 N minus 2. Boleh? So now kita cuba lihat, we look at the T table. Boleh kita minta tadi Uni Zaratika?
Ya, Doktor.
Okey, tengok dekat T table, buka dekat Google.
Sekejap
Boleh buka?
Boleh. Dah, Doktor.
Okey, belah kiri you tengok number 9, degree of freedom is 9. Macam mana kita dapat 9? Kalau tengok group ni kan, tengok slide number 19. Data ni kita ada total adalah 6. Sorry, kita ada 5.
5, 6.
Okey. Ini kita ada 5. Sini kita ada 6. So total adalah 11 kan? So kalau minus 2, so dia akan jadi berapa?
9.
That's why kita melihat 9. So cuba tengok jadual tu, degree of freedom 9. Okey, atas tu you tengok 0.051 til. 0.051 til. Berapa value interchange kat situ?
0.05
0.051 til atas sekali.
1.0. Okey, kejap
You akan dapat
1.833.
Okay, you akan dapat 1.833. So the Y 1.83 ada dekat sini.
Okay.
How do you get? Then the next, okay, thank you Uni Zaratika. The next, we need to calculate the T. So just now we already calculate. We have the value group number 1. X bar is 4. Standard deviation equal to 2.91. Group number 2 equal to 5 of the mean, then 2.09 standard deviation. So we find out the SP power by 2, we get 6.2222. Okay. At the end, we into the formula T. So X group number 1 minus group number 2, X bar. SP power by 2, just now we get 6.22 divided by 1.5, 1/6, we get minus 0.662. Minus 0.662 somewhere this area, duduk dekat sini. Somewhere this area lah. So what is kita punya decision? Boleh kita tanya Nur Hazira.
Saya ke doktor?
Okay, apakah keputusannya? What is the decision?
Tak ada beza. Maknanya
Reject A0 or accept A0?
reject.
So kalau tengok Zuni adalah do not reject A0. So dia duduk dalam zone ni, that mean do not reject A0, that mean we accept A0. Kan, betul kan? Betul tak apa Nur Hazira?
Ya doktor.
Betul kan? So because kita dapat calculation value di zone, this zone adalah do not reject A0, do not reject, that mean we accept A0. What A0 say? Wills is equal to Atkin. Betul tak? Wills equal to Atkin. A0, betul.
Jadinya dia tak ada beza doktor.
Okay, dia tak ada beza. Bermaksudnya kita boleh guna method siapa-siapa pun okey. Sama ada method Wills ataupun method Atkin. Boleh
Boleh doktor.
Siapa confuse lagi untuk calculations? Thank you Nuazira. Kita cuba tanya Chong Kisam.
Yes, sir.
So, understand kah? Faham kah?
Ya, faham.
Okay, thank you. Sekejap Okay, Chong Kisam, okay. Maisarah Alwani.
Okay, sir.
Okay, good, thank you. This one through the I think. Okay, the next one kita akan belajar two sample hypothesis. That mean population mean unequal. So standard deviation also unknown. Yang ni kira bernasib malang Maksudnya standard deviation pun kita tak tahu dan dia punya population mean pun dalam dua grup ni tak sama, unequal. So this condition kita guna T, then formula is group number 1 minus group number 2 standard square root S1 power by 2 divided by N1 plus S2 power by 2 divided by N2. So degree of freedom ni kita kena cari sendiri dalam this condition di mana tak diberikan standard deviation, juga population mean pun tak equal. So kita guna formula yang panjang ini untuk dapatkan degree of freedom. Okay. So T and degree of freedom. We see example macam mana diberikan. Okay, here example di mana unequal standard deviation also the mean also unequal mean So boleh kita minta George.
Ya, sir.
Boleh baca semua slide ni, John?
Boleh. Comparing population means we have unequal population standard deviation. Example, personnel in a consumer testing laboratory are evaluating the absorbency of paper towels. They wish to compare a set of store brands towels to a similar group of named brands once. For each brand, they dip a ply of the paper into a tube of fluid, allow the paper to drain back into the wet for 2 minutes, and then evaluate the amount of liquid the paper has taken up from the wet. A random sample of 9 store brand paper towels absorbed the following amount of liquid in milliliters:
Okay.
8831975512. An independent random sample of 12 named brand towel absorbed the following amounts of liquid in milliliters: 12, 11, 10, 6, 8, 9, 9, 10, 11, 9, 8, 10. Use the 0.1 significance level of and test if there is a difference in the mean amount of liquid absorbed by the two types of paper towels.
Okay, thank you, Josh. So now we have the example, group number 1 and group number 2. Toilet paper, sini dia pakai towels ataupun toilet paper. So dia melihat group number 1, they observe how many milliliters. So they measure 8831 and so on. So another one, you choose another brand. We call brand B, brand A and brand B. So they have 12 sample. They observe how many milliliters, 12, 11, 10 and so on. So they have two type of toilet paper ataupun towel. So they want use 0.10 significant whether is this group A and B is different or not. Okay. Boleh kita stop kat sini. Nanti kita sambung lagi next week, this week. Boleh ke?
Boleh, Doktor.
So
Yes,
saya nak share QR code. Siapa yang belum scan, tolong scan.